Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host, GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie. And we're starting our battle companies.
So this is going to be our battle companies campaign. We're testing the water with it. I've not done it before.
No, I've not done it properly before, but I've theorised and read the rules.
So we're going to be having a play with this. So we want you to comment and get involved and see what you think. We are playing by the rules of...
It's...
Error
Onion.
So thank you very much to him for putting together this rules pack for us.
Yep.
We're going to show you what we're going to be playing with and try and discuss some of the rules as we go. And this is my Dwarven battle company. So I'm going to be playing the Dwarves for this battle company's campaign. And when you do this, you get as Dwarves 2 with shield and axe, 2 two-handed weapon, and 2 with bows. I think that's correct. You've got to name one of your characters as your lieutenant. So this guy over here with the dynamic pose, he is going to be my lieutenant, and he's going to be called Goblin. That's right. And next to him, the 2 guys with two-handed weapons, they're his sergeants. So I should mention that the lieutenant gets 1 might, will, and fate, and the sergeants get a 0-0-1 stat line, so they get 1 fate point each. And they're going to be called Burnin and Bo. That's right. We've also got another guy here who's got the shield and axe, and we've got 2 bowmen, and that is the Dwarven battle companies that we're going to be following throughout this campaign.
Now we're looking after the Goblins this battle company campaign. So my lieutenant here is going to be called Goblin. He gets 1 might, 1 will, 1 fate.
No way.
Yeah, Goblin. I know, original, mate. Then the 2 lieutenants here, both of them, well, all of them, have got sword and shield, and they are Nilbig, which is Goblin backwards, and Gilbin, which is a mix-up of Goblin. Then we've got 3 with spear, 3 with bow, and 2 wild wargs. So quite a big warband to start off with for the battle company for Goblins.
So the scenario that we're going to be starting with is called the ambush, and the storyline to this is we've got a Dwarven patrol here, and the patrol is going out. I think there's been some funny business, some Goblin activity in the area, but they can't be sure. There's been a few settlements getting burned down. They need to go out and really check it out. So they're sending out a sortie. The objective for the Dwarves is literally to get across to the other side of the board, but little do they know, there is a Goblin ambush lying in wait.
So at the start of the game I set up my forces to ambush the Dwarves. Guys who start in cover count as having a concealing cloak, which is the same as an elven cloak, but as soon as I move, shoot, or perform an action, I lose that bonus. So I've set up here on the bridge to try and stop the main assault, and got 2 little sort of scouting parties to hopefully harass the Dwarves, as their objective is to get 2 models off this board edge. As you see, it's quite a long walk for the Dwarves, just over 48 inches.
So here's how the board's looking after movement. As you can see, the Dwarven board, unaware of the oncoming ambush, just started their march down that left-hand side of the board, and quickly rushing out was the Warg and some of the other Goblins that were laying in wait. So they've now lost their elven cloak now that they've moved.
Yes, yeah.
These guys here, I think the only guy who's left with it is the bowman on top, and this one here who's in cover. But they're all moving across, getting in position to ambush, although I think it's pretty obvious for the Dwarves what is coming. We're going to go into the next turn. And here's the table after movement. So Jamie got priority with his Goblin ambushers, and just moved some of his Wargs back here behind the trees. Just wanted to make sure that you can get that counter punch charge in, probably after I've had priority. And his Goblins have stayed there just to make sure that they are defending the 2 crossing options on this side of the board. The Dwarves, realising that they are in trouble, are spread out into battle formation as they continue to move up towards their objective, which is to get to the other side. There is 1 shot. We've got this Goblin here, and he's going to shoot at...
what's he called? Baloin.
That's not Baloin.
Is it not?
Baloin is the one with the dynamic pose.
Oh, yeah. It's just this guy then.
Yeah, so he's just a shield guy.
So 6 to hit? No.
And he misses. And with that, we're going to go on to the next turn. So the Goblins got priority, and having priority, they didn't charge out of the woods. They are lurking behind, as you can see. The Goblins back over there, still trying to make sure they've got their options open. Well, the Dwarves just head up the centre there. Will there be any shooting?
Yes, we've got 1 shot here. I'm taking on a 6, and we're going to have a shot this time, definitely at Baloin.
So he's shooting at Baloin.
6 is to hit.
6 to hit.
No.
And he misses.
Then we've got 1 more shot here. He's going to take off his concealing cloak, shoot at your archer here. So he's not moved, so 5+ to hit. No.
And he doesn't hit.
Loses his cloak.
Goblins shooting is futile. We're going to go into the next turn. Wow, and here's how it's looking. So with the Dwarves getting priority, they were bold. They marched up and they attacked their potential assailants. The Dwarf warrior was the only one who could get in there on the Warg, who has briefly been surrounded, although I made sure that you couldn't get trapped there by another Goblin and the Warg. And over here, one Goblin's hidden behind the tree there, out of sight, and these guys here just moved up half so they could get some pop shots up over there with their Dwarf bows. And with that, we are going to go into shooting. So we are going to be shooting these two Dwarf bowmen into his lieutenant, Goblin himself.
No.
We need 5s to hit because we've moved. We get 1 hit. 4+ to get past the riverbank, and it doesn't. So Goblin is safe. We've got 1 Goblin shot. It's this Goblin here who's going to be shooting at BO. That's the one with the arms raised above his head with the 2-handed weapon. So he needs 6s to hit.
Oh!
He hits. Does he get past the tree?
No in the way there.
If you say so.
6s?
Whatever you want. And no, it doesn't get him. So BO survives. So we've got the 1 combat, and this is the nameless shield dwarf who will be shielding against the Goblin. So what do they get? They get a 5 highest. What does the shielding dwarf get? He gets the 6. So after that minor skirmish, we are going to film priority, as it could be quite important. Priority goes to the dwarves. And so the Dwarven band got priority, and the nameless shield dwarf charged in there on the Warg. He was countercharged by the Goblin bowman. BO charged the Goblin there, and Vernon and Baloin, our lieutenant, charged this Warg here. In the meantime, these guys just moved up half and nothing was going on over here, so we are going to go into the shooting. So the 2 Dwarven archers again shooting at Goblin. Makes me so happy to say that out loud. They need 5s. They get 1. They need a 4 to get past the terrain. They do get past. And they need 5s to wound him. Oh! Goblin has been wounded, so he's got 1 fate point. What happens here? Oh, he fails it! Goblin has been slaughtered! Slaughtered! Goblin has died, and the Dwarven bowmen have sniped out.
He's been knocked out.
He's been knocked out, yes, because there are some special rules with battle companies, and what are those rules? Just quickly.
Well, we'll discuss them at the end, but I'm not dead yet.
No, if you roll a 1 or a 2, you die.
Heroes have a different table. Don't talk about it. You don't know what you're talking about, James.
He doesn't want to talk about it. We're going to go into the next combats. So wow, after the death of Goblin, we're going to go into the rest of the combats. And we have got Baloin and Vernon, who are going to be taking on this Warg here. So they just get a single attack dice.
Yes,
it's not like captain or anything.
Not captains, just okay. Their stat profile.
Okie dokie. So the purple dice is going to be Vernon with the 2-handed weapon.
Yep.
So let's see what happens. We get a 3 highest, so the Warg could do this. Oh, and he doesn't do it, so luckily we get it. So same again, he's defense 4, and we are strength 3. Okay, so we need 5s, but we need 4s on the purple dice by Burnham with his 2-handed weapon.
Yes.
And Warg survives. I'm going to go into the next combat. Next up, BO is taking on nameless Goblin Archer. So, what does Goblin Archer get? He gets a 1, which means that we win. So, oh no, because I've got 2-handed weapon. Oh no, that's high 5.
Go down to a 1. So rolling to wound, you need a 4 with the 2-handed.
We need 4 with the 2-handed. Oh! And nameless Goblin goes down. BO gains an experience.
Yes.
Next up, we've got the shielding dwarf, who is currently nameless, against the Goblin Archer and the Warg. So what do those get? They get a 6, so he needs to get a 6. And he doesn't get it, even with Element Games dice. So you need 6s of both. Oh! And you get a 6. Now he is nameless, which means he has been killed. Who was that?
1, 2, 3, it was the Warg. It was the Goblin.
Oh, so the Goblin Archer gets it. And Shieldy dies. Of course, he hasn't died, he's just knocked out, and we'll see whether he does die at the end of the game. So here's how it's looking after those combats. So 1 dead dwarf, a dead Goblin, and a dead Goblin. So I'm dying to do that as well. Let's roll for priority. Oh, and it goes to the Goblins. And the ambush intensifies. The wargs and the goblin archer, who managed to kill off a dwarf before, have charged in on Bayo, Burnan, and Baloin. I'm made up, I'm getting these names right. In the meantime, the dwarf archers here haven't moved. They're going to try and get some pot shots off at the goblins who have moved over towards the bridge there, hoping to cut off the dwarves if they manage to advance. Let's go into that shooting now. So it is shooting, and the dwarven bowman, one of which is now known as Holbase, the one who... Holo has managed to kill Goblin before. They're both going to be shooting. So the purple dice is Holo, and they need 4s to hit. So Holo misses, but Nameless Dude doesn't. So does it get past the riverbank? Yes, it does. And needing 5s to kill him. Oh, and 4s across the board. It's not enough to kill those goblins. So we're going to start off with the goblin on a rampage who managed to murder, well, potentially murder, the dwarf before against two-handed Mr. Bayo. Goblin gets 4. Oh, and we get 2, the two-handed weapon. So you need a 6.
Yep. Oh, he doesn't.
And he doesn't do it. So Bayo moves back. Next up, we've got Burnan again, two-handed versus the warg.
Wins.
Warg gets a 6 and wins because of the two-handed weapon.
5s.
So he needs 5s. Oh! So Burnan has got a fate point because he's one of the sergeants. So does he pass his fate point? Yes, he does. So he sticks around, but he has lost his fate. And the final one-on-one are Dwarven Lieutenant Baloin versus the warg. Let's see what happens. You get a 1, so we take it regardless.
Roll to wound. 5s.
So we need 5s to kill this warg. Oh! And we get it. And the warg goes down. And it starts to balance out. And that is the end of that turn. We're going to go into the next turn. Priority. It's priority goblins. And here's how it's looking after movement. So the warg charged in on the two-handed weapon sergeants, Burnan and Bayo, and the goblin, who was on a bit of a rampage, has taken on Baloin. In the meantime, the two dwarf archers here have come round to the aid of their dwarven companions, but they have brought themselves in range of the goblin archer there, which we'll be doing next, and the goblins have come to close up the bridge. So we are going to go on to that goblin shot now. He hasn't moved, so he needs 5s. And he misses. And with that, we are going to go into the combats. So we're going to start off with
the warg.
So we're going with the warg against the two-handed weapon guys. You get the 6 that you need. You get a 4. So we need a 5. And we get a 5 and a 6. So we take that. So we need
4s. We'll roll for one of them first.
Yep, we'll roll for Bayo first. And Bayo kills him. And Bayo gets another point of XP. And next up, Baloin versus the Goblin. What happens? It's a 1-on-1. You get a 5. We get a 4, so you take it. Do I use a point of might to win it? Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Use your weapon?
Yeah.
Cool. So 5s to wound?
No. Oh dear. And with that, we're going to go into the next priority. I was just thinking, you know, fate. And, oh, and it goes to me, regardless. So, it is Dwarven priority. And with the Dwarven band getting priority, they have ganged up on the Goblin who is on his own there. And hopefully we're going to get Bayo to get the kill, so he can move up the hero advancement table and get 5 points of the XP. So we're going to roll now. The two-handed...
Go, Goblin!
The two-handed ones I'll roll first. No. The Baloin. No. And the archer. No! So the Goblin actually wins and these guys are all moved back. So who are you going for?
Who lost their fate earlier? It's B.O.
Bayo.
Going for him.
Lost his fate. Oh! The Goblin has taken down Bayo.
He's got 2 XP!
The Goblin has got 2 XP. And Bayo, who is also our most XP'd character, is taken from the board. And oh my days, let's go into priority. I ain't rolling 1 dice at a time ever again. Oh,
I get it.
you get priority. Priority to the Goblin. So we're going to roll to see who wins the combats. You get a 3, and the purple dice, I think, the purple dice is the two-handed.
You win it?
And we win it.
How kite were you? Nearly though.
That was close. So we're going to start off with Burnham with the two-handed weapon, needing 4s, and Burnham gets it. So
we decided to call him Nilbig, but now he's off the board anyway.
was it Bilnig?
Bilnig, wasn't it?
This one was Bilnig. Bilnig is dead, and we're going to go into the next turn, priority. And it's priority dwarves. And here's how it's looking after movements. The dwarves have marched up the bridge, and the goblins have moved to meet them. We're going to go into our next turn movement. And here's how it's looking on the bridge. So the goblins have charged in against the dwarven band. The ambush is going to near its completion soon. Either way, which combat we're going to start with, Goblin?
Start here and move along. Start with, what do I call him? Nilbig.
We've got Nilbig, and we've got that's Burnham. Burnham is -1, so you get the 6. You get a 4, so I need a 5. Oh, we get a 2.
So black dice is Bilnig. Oh, Nilbig. Sorry, it's going to get confusing when they all have the same name. So Nilbig's black.
Oh, you don't kill him. So the dwarf is moved back. On to the next one.
Yeah. So for me, this is Goblin.
And we're going to shield.
Yeah, shield. Oh.
6s. Come on! No, we get a 5, so we lose. You've got 2 dice, and
black dice
6s.
Is Goblin.
Oh no, and you don't get him. So Baloin moves back 1 inch, and finally
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
Oh, come on, the other one.
No!
6s, come on! No.
Oh. You're not re-rolling ones because of ancient enemies?
No, that's only gun by black shields.
Good. And with that, we're going to go into the next turn. So it's just going to be the ongoing scrap on the bridge now. So we've got the 2 and the 1 here. Yeah. So we've got Burnham
versus Nilbig. Nilbig's going to faint this time. Forgot about that.
Nilbig's going to faint.
Oh,
you get a 6 and you win. Can't win that because it's a two-handed weapon.
So black is Nilbig. Rerolling 1s. 6s.
Oh! Yes. And luckily he's got a fate point, Burnham.
Yeah. I still get my XP for it now.
So Burnham is going to use his fate point.
Oh,
and he fails it. So Burnham goes down. Oh dearie me.
My sergeant's better than yours.
Oh dear. So we're on to the next combat now. This isn't looking good. We're on to the next combat now, which is Baloin versus the 2 goblins. And I'm going to shield.
Yeah, this is Gilbin. He'll faint.
A 6. We get 4s. So you take it.
Black dice, rerolling 1s. Gilbin.
Oh!
And a wound.
So this is Baloin. Baloin hasn't used a fate point yet, so let's use it. Oh, and he fails. Oh. He's not got a point of might either.
So he goes.
So Baloin goes down. So
Spearman.
I don't think.
Those 2 bowmen off the other edge.
I don't think those 2 bowmen are getting over. So we're going to go into the next combat now. So I'll roll my dice. We get a 6, so we take that. So we need 5.
Yep.
So we need 5 to kill him, and no, we don't. So he gets pushed back. The bowman is there, but it doesn't look good now for the dwarves. It really doesn't look good for the dwarves. The ambush is nearing completion. So, are there going to be any dwarven heroics? We've got a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-1. I'm going to start off with the 2-on-1. Come on.
This is Nilbig
versus. This is not holy.
Hollow.
Hollow.
Not hollow. This is unnamed at the moment.
Unnamed dwarven.
So I'll be fainting again.
You're fainting. Blimey.
Goodness.
6s.
So I get the opposite of the Isengard.
No.
So black 3-rolling 1s. Oh, ooh. He stays alive.
He lives. So we go on to the next one straight away.
Yep.
So this is Holo. Come on, Holo. Oh!
Holo wins.
Holo takes it. So
no,
Holo.
Don't strike me. No.
So Holo making a strike at
Nilbig.
Is that Nilbig?
Let's get a Gilbin.
Gilbin.
Yeah.
Striking at Gilbin, needing 5s. Needing 5s.
Oh, phew.
Gets a 2 to wound. And we're going to go into the next turn's combats. In priority. and combats. And here we go again. We're starting off with the combat on the right. Unnamed bowman
versus Nilbig. Nilbig fainting.
6s again. And we get a 2.
So no big black dice.
Needing 6s. Oh!
Spearman gets him.
And he goes down.
Yeah.
So he goes down.
Might as well finish the turn off, but you can't do it now. Under 33%.
The Dwarves have failed in their mission to get across the board. So we're going to go into this next combat. Will Holo restore some pride? He gets a 2.
So I'm fainting with Goblin. He's black dice.
And you take it with a 5.
So
are you going to wipe us off the table?
Goblin striking first. He doesn't do it. Spearman, who wounded earlier. No. And the other guy. No.
No.
So Holo lives.
Holo lives, and that takes us to the end of our first mission of Battle Companies.
Yeah.
And we're going to go into a post-Battle Companies battle breakdown.
Well, we'll do a bit of admin first.
Yeah, we're going to tot up our various XPs
and
casualties.
And whatnot. Yeah.
We're going to do that now.
So after we've played our game, the first thing we have to do is then roll for our injuries. So I'm going to roll for Goblin, my lieutenant. So they roll 2d6 and check on the hero injury table. Oh!
Wow.
And I make a full recovery with no adverse effects.
Oh my eyes!
Oh wow. That was lucky. We got Bill Nig, who got 2 experience that game before he snuffed it. So I roll a dice and we see what we get. A 6. He makes a full recovery. Good job. Next up is the other unnamed bowman. What does he do? He makes a full recovery on a 4+. The warg. He rolls a 3, so he's going to miss the next game.
Yeah.
And the final warg. He makes a full recovery as well, so he'll be back in the roster for the next time.
So we've got to see what happens to the defeated Dwarven band. Starting off with Baloin, he rolls 2d6, and he gets a 3 and a 3.
6. So that is a full recovery. He suffers no other effects.
Oh, that was close. So next up, we've got Burnham. Burnham rolls 1d6, yeah?
And he's still here, so he's...
As he rolls 2.
Yeah.
And he gets 9.
9 is a flesh wound. He must miss the next game.
What?
Let's double check as well. On a 12, I gained a permanent point of fate.
Wow, a permanent point of fate. Very good. Next up, we've got Bayo. And Bayo rolls 2. And he gets 7.
Which is a full recovery.
7 is a full recovery. Next up, we've got the bowman, which is going to be called...
Holo?
Holy.
Holy.
So we've got Holo
Yep.
and Holy. Holy rolls 1. He gets 2.
He is missing the next game.
So he misses the next game. And we've also got Hulu, which is the the axe and shield guy. He is got 6.
Recovery.
So he makes a full recovery. So we've got 2 guys missing the next game. Oh dear. Oh dear.
So we'll work out our XP and our gold now.
So this is our post-battle companies battle rep breakdown, and we're going to go through exactly what happened to our companies after that horrendous defeat for the Dwarves. Because you pick up various bits of experience, so you get experience for...
You get experience for just taking part, and if you win, you gain extra XP for all your heroes, and if you wound something, even if it's saved by fate, you gain XP. So I've got 2 guys on 3, and 3 on 2, and everyone else on 1 XP.
And then Dwarves, we've got Baloin, our lieutenant, he's on 2. We've got Burnham, who's on 2. We've got Bayo, who's on 3. We've got the Hulu, who's the axe and shield guy. He's on 1 just for taking part. As is Holy, who's the bowman. And then you got Holo, who's the bowman who did a bit better. He killed Goblin, or shot Goblin and wounded him, but he's fine.
Yeah. Gained a fate point.
No, sorry about that. He's got +2. Now you also get gold as well. You get 2 for taking part and
+2 for winning. So I've got 4 gold and you've got 2 gold. So we get to either buy equipment for our guys or we're going to get reinforcements. And we will then roll on a reinforcement chart, which we'll get done now.
We've also just rolled as well, which you saw, to see who stuck around. Unfortunately, one of my sergeants...
So we missed the next game.
Yeah, he's got a flesh wound, and then we've got Bowman, who's
missing the next game. He's too injured.
He's got a bit of an injury as well, and you've got
one warg who's hurt his foot and can't play in the next game as well.
Going to be tough for the Dwarves.
Yeah,
starting off
massively.
But we hope you enjoyed our first ever attempt at Battle Companies. Make sure, as always, you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Support your Hobbit.
And happy strategy battle game.